What's up, everyone? We're back with some more modern action. I'm, of course, NanMan, bringing you guys all of our coverage here on NanMan's Nerd Corner. I hope everyone is nice and warm and safe and kind of enjoying this winter weather as the storm has kind of come and gone as the release of this. I just was out finishing up shoveling and kind of clearing the path in between all of the fun freezing rain and sleet and wintry mix that is coming through at this point in time. But we've got a nice, exciting one for you. A little bit of a longer one, a little bit of a grindy matchup. And we've got Dimir Faeries versus Hollow One. This is the Rakdos Hollow One build. I think it's Rakdos. Maybe it's just yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Rakdos. We'll find out as we get into it. I see a swamp, so that's my brain's going, yeah, it must be Rakdos, right? So if you're not familiar with Hollow One, it's been on and off the channel multiple times over the years. But the goal is you're going to utilize some cycling cards, some discarding cards, things like Faithless Looting, Burning Inquiries, Goblin Lures, things like that, to be able to draw some cards, discard some cards, and set up for a nice early Hollow One here, which it looks like we could be able to do a Hollow One as well. Let's see. 1, 2, Hollow One normally costs 5, costs 2 less for each card you discard, so you can be able to discard another card and be able to have a turn 2 Hollow One, which is pretty good. I like that plan here. Also, with this little Mako, the little shark boy over here, does get counters on it whenever you're discarding cards, so we do get to see a little bit. I guess it's the debate about the Hollow One. I don't know. I think putting a Hollow One out is good, but I guess when you look at the other cards in hand, you're like, no, I'm trying to set up for something else. So maybe utilizing that, of course, monument there to really put some pressure here, but let's see how things go. Now, the other side of things, we've got 3 damage trying to come across here. But the other side of things, we got a Dimir Fairy list, with the Lorwyn Eclipse being out. I wanted to build a deck that would be fun. And plus, I've updated my Dimir Murktide and stripped out no longer having a Murktide list currently. I don't know. I'm looking to see. There's probably somewhere that I could build a Murktide list. I don't know yet what that'll look like and where that'll be, but I wanted to build another Dimir deck because those are my colors of choice. Dimir, Sultai, that's where I feel the most comfortable when it comes to building decks and playing decks. So, any way in that. And then, of course, basically just blue, black, green are my 3 colors of choice here, but no green in this list. It is a Dimir Fairies with a little bit of a twist, and we'll talk about it. We've got, of course, Bitter Blossoms, we've got Spellsetter Sprite, so it's got a lot of ways to kind of disrupt and mess with your opponents. We'll see it on camera a couple times over the next couple of weeks. So we'll see. Oh, Hobgoblin. So this is another one, of course, Flying Haste. When you discard a card, it gets +2 until the end of turn. So a little bit of burst damage available here. And then Fetch and Shock. And you can see, actually, the Life Tracks counter being used there. Huge win to see that, on camera. Of course, we do have our affiliate link. If you guys are not familiar, there's links in the description. We've got a little commercial break in the video as well that you can see all the codes. But nerdgear.gg/nanman will get you access to 5% off your order if you use our code. But you can also check out things like the sleeves. The sleeves that we are featuring, the Dimir Fairy list, is that nice little, bluish, grayish color there. That is actually Nerd Geared sleeves. So you guys, if that color seems cool, might want to check out that as well here. But, yeah, it's a lot of just sort of, you see, we're basically just sort of, delaying right now. We're doing a lot of countering, just stopping. But now, without the Hollow One out early, we're seeing this kind of okay, I'm relying on the monument, but we missed our 3rd land, so now it's can we still get there here? But if you like the content, of course, we do have gameplay every Monday and Thursdays, as well as we're posting up, some posts and things that you can be able to vote in. If you guys are interested, check those out. We want to hear what you think about what maybe is the best art or the art that you like the most there. So, Preordained, going to be setting up some draws here. But yeah, if you're not familiar with most fairies lists, it's very similar to a popper list, if you will, of hey, we're going to be able to flash in these fairies, we'll disrupt you, and then we've got some follow it up with, maybe some ninjutsu elements here. Speaking of ninjutsu, there is some new sneaky mechanics coming out very soon. If you guys have probably already seen some of the spoilers for it, but all right, there's the Monument of Endurance trying to get deployed here, which will be met with another counter spell. So it is a lot of just like, how can I mitigate what my opponent is doing with like counter spells and things like that. And then you can see the little bit of frustration is like, I can't play anything. Everything I'm trying to deploy is immediately met with a counter spell or a removal spell or something. So I'm just kind of stuck. Yeah, and look at this, just sort of past turn that's the like, okay, you've deployed 2 counter spells. There's no way you have another counter spell, right? Like, there's got to be, I should be fine to deploy the Monument now, right? We'll see. We'll see if that's going to be the case. Oh, we're having a conversation between the tables about Savage summoning there. Monument of Endurance, will it be deployed this time? It does. All right. So whenever you discard a card, you get to choose one that has not been chosen this turn. Draw a card, create a treasure, and your opponent loses 3 life. With Burning Inquiry, you do all 3 of those, which is very cool. Land pass here. No deployments of any fairies at the moment, but we see there's the Burning Inquiry. Oh, Spellstutter Sprite. So when it enters, you counter target spell with converted mana cost X or less, where X is the number of fairies. So this is an ETB, so it will be able to counter that. Now, there is this window of opportunity to respond that we kind of talk through and figure out. Because this trigger goes on the stack, Spellstutter Sprite enters, all right? You can respond to that trigger, kill the Spellstutter Sprite, and then it will check and go, how many fairies are on the battlefield? 0? Well, guess what? The spell will be able to resolve. So then we do a quick check through and go through it, and it's like, okay, there is a opportunity right now. Burning Inquiry, technically available. So because we are playing locals, because it is not a tournament, we can sit here and have these discussions and go through it and help players learn, especially if they're not used to playing against these sort of decks. Like Spellstutter Sprite is not normally a modern card. If you play Pauper, you'll see it and interact with it a lot more. But in this case, it's like, oh, wait a minute. This is a trigger. It's not just like a counter spell and I'm done. You can actually interact with this. And yes, so here we do see the Bolt's going to come out, clear up the Spellstutter Sprite.
It'll still trigger, and then it will say, do I have any fairies? And it's going to say, I have 0 fairies, so this resolves. Okay, so then yeah, I'll do that. Okay.
All right, so there we go. So it goes, hey, do you have any fairies? Nope, there are 0 fairies. The spell is not countered. And now we get to all draw 3 cards and discard 3 at random, which then will turn into the Monument triggering, getting a treasure, drawing a card, and draining 3 from your opponent. Not necessarily draining, but, you know, burning 3. Because when I think of drain effects, I think of you drain life and you gain life, but some little vampire action. But now let's see. 1, 2, 3, left with 2 cards. 1, 2, and 3. What do we lose here? Let's see what the players ended up discarding. Oh, Counterspell, Death Shadow, and an Otawara. So that gives you the little twist that we've put on the fairies here. You can see kind of these aggressive, fetching, shocking, stuff like that happening, but there we see the Death Shadow is the kind of little bit of sneakiness. And we'll be playing this deck a little bit more. We've got some MTGO leagues with this list coming up because, you know, I like playing weird and different decks. We've got other weird decks and different decks, off-meta decks that you can see. Let's see, what other ones do we got coming up? Boggles. We got some Boggle action. We got some human action. We've got some more rhinos. Like, we got some good stuff. We also got some just like traditional stuff like Jeskai Blink. Is it Prowess? You know, some things like that. We've got another Neoform versus Mono Blue Tron. We've got some Tron matches coming up soon as well. So, oh, dropping to 9. I was like, is there a way out of this for our Dimir Faeries player? I mean, you look at the life totals, like, and the advantage meter is clearly on the Hollow One side at this point in time, right? 20 life versus 9. They've got a monument out. Yes, they have no creatures, no threats, other than that monument. But that monument is very hard to deal with as a Dimir player, like main board. Yeah, you've got Otawara to bounce it, but that's about it, right? Putting the Fatal Push in there. Again, there's no creatures, so it's like, okay, what do we need that for?
I'm gonna pass.
And another pass. Interesting. All right, down to 19. And there is, you can see a Detective's Phoenix sitting in the graveyard. There's some Faithless Looting sitting in the graveyard. So a lot of potential here. Looks like we'll get our Ruckus Theater. All right, grab ourselves a Surveil Land. Yeah, this is you could see like just the kind of slow glimpse between both players' hands every so often as they're shuffling up and being like, okay, let's see, what do you got here? All right, we've got, looks like there is a Bowmaster in our Hollow One's hand, so they might be trying to, force our opponent to lose a lot of life. With a Bowmaster plus having access to a Burning Inquiry, that's a lot of damage very quickly. Oh, speaking of which, Burning Inquiry just got drawn here, so let's see what happens. I mean, again, there is those moments where you try to do these spells and be like, I mean, I guess it's like you have plenty of mana. Do you go and just give it haste here? We've got Arena of Glory, so you could give your next creature haste as long as you basically get double red and can spend that as you see fit. And with a creature that has 2, mana worth of value, like 1 colorless, 1 red, you pay that red into the colorless, and bam, your Orcish Bowmaster can swing in. I mean, the 1 damage might not matter, but with 9 life, it could actually make a big difference here. All right, there's the Bowmaster, and we are going to give it haste. You see the dice indicating that we have exerted that land, so it will remain tapped. Oh, Snapcaster response. And we'll be able to counterspell that. I love me a Snapcaster. Snapcaster decks are fun. They don't see as much play, but certain ones do. Like, I have this deck that is running Snapcaster. I've also got my, of course, Is It Twin that I'm a huge fan of. And Burning Inquiry is going to get resolved here, which means another 3 damage. Let's see what gets discarded. Those 3 are gone. Goblin Lore, Nethergoyf, and a land, it looked like there. And what do we lose here? Oh, Fatal Push, Tameo, and a land. All right, not too bad. Monument will trigger, though. So draw a card, 3 damage, and make a treasure. Oh, another Bowmaster. Okay. Oh, no. Nethergoyf. All right, we're going to do a check and see how big it is. Sorcery, land, creature, instant, enchantment, artifact. Oh, we got 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a 6/7 right now.
So what's that? 6, 7, something like that. Enchantment, artifact, land, creature, instant, and sorcery. So 6, 7.
Yep. It's a 6/7. Oh, there we go. We said it. Oh gosh. I am around kids for my job being a teacher, and I have heard that way too many times this school year. Luckily, it's starting to fade off a bit, but it's still just like when other people say it and they're being like me and, being silly about it, I'm like, you don't understand how much it has burrowed into my brain. All right, so we're looking through and just trying to debate, if we are able to do this here. So it's like, how much would we lower Detective Phoenix if we do this? We're able to bestow. Part of it is collecting evidence 6. So we're going to get rid of. All right. Creature. Hold on. We got to look through. I mean, really, it's just like get rid of the hollow one and one of the sorceries here, right? Yeah, there we go. Grab those two. Goyf technically will shrink to a 5/6 because the Detective's Phoenix, the enchantment is now pulled out of the graveyard. There's no more enchantments left. So there are 5 types left. So we're thinking he doesn't get any smaller, but looking at it now, we're like, oh no, wait, the enchantment has gone out. So it's a 5, but it gets +2 to be 7, so it doesn't matter. With only 6 life, flying in for 7 is enough to take game number 1 there for the Hollow One player. So good.
We're
start
interrupting
to
our
things.
gameplay to let you know about our new affiliate with Nerd Gear. nerdgear.gg/nanman will take you directly to the website, and as you can see, they've got a bunch of awesome gaming accessories from playmats, life counters with the life tracks, playmat holders, and more. So make sure you do some browsing on the site, find some goodies, and then use the code NGNanman for 5% off your entire order. But let's get back to our gameplay.
All right, getting back into it. Game number 2. Of course, sideboard stuff is cut out. We don't get to see, and we're already getting in. Looks like one of our players is mulliganing their hand down to 6, maybe? Or are they going lower than that? Oh, down to 5. Okay. We'll see. And Tamio to start things out for our fairy player. All right. Looks like Blackcleave Cliff into a Thoughtseize. It says, show me those counterspells. It says a land. Oh my gosh. Heavy lands. But, okay. Bit of a greedy keep here. But with like Tamio and a Preordain, you're essentially saying, okay, well, turn 3... I'll flip my Tamio. All right, turn 2, you make a clue. Turn 3, you are able to preordain, pop your clue, and flip Tamio. So it's going to be a bit before Kaido is available and able to be deployed, but still a possibility. But I like the idea of getting the preordain. That's definitely out of those the more impactful card, because if Tamio is able to get going already at turn 3, like, you can really run away with the game by getting that ultimate off and drawing half the deck, and then you're really in trouble. Let's make a clue here. Gotta get the tokens out. I do need to just like set aside, I have my infinite tokens right here. Can you hear them? They're sitting at my desk right now in the box. And I was like, I really need to make sure I just set aside a couple of these for the players with a couple of dry erase markers for these moments. I mean, I have the token here, but there are times where players are like flipping their, cards or using sleeves and stuff like that, which is perfectly fine and reasonable if you're just like, yep, there's my token. But it's also like, oh, but you should make sure you're actually having some way to represent it for the camera, at least for all of our viewers at home, which I hope you guys are all, again, warm and cozy and just relaxing, enjoying the match. Have it on the background while you do stuff, or watching intently because you're like, I want to see what a Dimir Fairy list looks like in Modern. This sounds like a cool list. It is. I enjoyed it quite a bit, piloting it. I don't want to give away any spoilers about our results until the end of the match, but we'll let you know. Also, we talked about having the deck featured. We're going to be playing at MTGO in a bit, but... All right, will Tamio survive? It doesn't look likely here. With the, lightning bolt in hand, it's like, okay, any instant of trying to flip Tamio will not go the way we want. But Tamio could turn into a Kaido depending on if we get to move to combat here. We shall see. Yeah, but also, like, there's really no chance that this is going to be able to work the way we think it is. All right, 2 more. Watery Grave. Also, those are the Edge of Eternity Watery Graves. They've gone down quite a bit in price, so we keep talking about it. Pick up your fetch lands. All right, response before attacks. Here we go. Yeah, this is that, like we said, there's no way this is going to be able to survive. And there's the Bolt. Do we care about that? Yeah, Tamio is lay dead. Goodbye, Tamio. Yeah, nothing else to really do here. All right, a 3rd land. Not really much else. You've got, of course, the Bowmaster again, and it's basically just a removal-heavy hand. But like, I don't mind the waiting on the Bowmaster. You know, especially if your opponent's going to pop that clue. You can be like, flash it in. You know, do some Bowmastering. All right, so not responding to it there. Because, again, you know, whenever your opponent draws a card except the first one they draw on each of their draw steps, this deals 1 damage. So the Bowmaster would have already been able to come out, deal 1 damage, make an army, and then it would have grown to a 2/2 there. So there was that, like, you know, extra point of damage. Does it matter? I don't know. We'll see if it comes down to 1 point of damage for game number 2 or not. Life total is a little bit, you know, closer this game around compared to game number 1. I mean, game 1, it was basically the Hollow One only dealing damage to themselves, which is kind of the case here. But, you know, Thoughtseize and Shocking In and things like that. But Street Race, Burning Inquiry. Okay, there we go. So we're set up here. Bowmaster, Burning Inquiry. Will there be a... Looks like, are we doing the... No, we're not going to exert it. All right, 14 all. Ping. All right, there's the army. Yeah, here we go. Burning Inquiry. All right. Oh, okay, so the push. So we're letting the response of, you know, we have no way to interact with the Burning Inquiry here, but we can at least kill the Bowmaster, so it's not going to grow too crazy. All right, let's draw 3, discard 3 at random, and let's see what we can get here. I mean, Burning Inquiry is such a frustrating card to play against. There's times where you, like, just get got almost of like, oh, my lands got discarded, and now I have no way to be able to continue to play. All right, the Mako's gone. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Oh, Riddler. Oh, okay. Yep, another fairy and a ninja there. Big hits there. So yeah, that's the other thing about this Dimir Fairy list. I had 2 other Riddlers. Like, I've got, you all know I have my Esper Blink list that I play a lot, or had played a lot. And I like the idea of a Esper. I like still having Ketramos as a deck. But, you know, had a couple other Riddlers that I just picked up because I was a huge fan of Edge of Eternity as a set. And still am. Like, I still want to be able to play more of it and do more with that set. But at the moment, you know, Lorwyn, it's fun. I'm having a blast being able to interact with it. And speaking of Lorwyn, here's a Bitter Blossom coming out here. So, beginning of every turn, you will lose a life and make a fairy with flying. There's a black rogue fairy, in case you're wondering about creature types and color identities there. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Detective's Phoenix, we got a flyer. At least can block those 1/1 fairies all day. And actually bring some beats, which is going to be really important actually here if we're thinking about our opponent is slowly draining themselves, right? So 2 damage drops to 12. The race right now is in favor of our Hollow One player. So go to 11, make a fairy.
I had the old Bitter Blossom. I traded it to Freya.
Hard casting the Kaido. I think that makes a lot of sense here. Sit here, and it looks like we're going to minus, and we'll put the stun counters. So it should be 2 stun counters. You know, tap creature, put 2 stun counters on it, and then instead of untapping that creature, you remove that stun counter. But we're able to fix it here just through talking through and double checking the cards, and you know, reading the card explains the card, all that good stuff. But also, it's like that is the one challenge sometimes that I face. Of I do have the advantage of interacting with Magic cards a lot more than regular people, and so in these incidents of like I'm just watching so much Magic and so much modern gameplay and interacting with the cards so much that I have a good base level knowledge of decks and strategies and what they're doing. But then there's times like this where it's like, oh, I don't play with this card as much as other cards, like Kaido in particular. So it's like I forget some of the nuanced things of like, I know it puts stun counters on it and it's tapping it and doing all that stuff, but then I forget like actually how many stun counters it puts on it. And then that element of it having 2 is relevant and is important here. So let's see, what do we got? End step, going to our Hollow One player's turn. So yeah, we fix it in the sense of instead of removing it, we kept it on there. Because we do get this like confirmation of it should be 2, but it really, so it all evens out in the end, and it's like, how much loyalty does it have left? Oh, it's got 2. Okay, cool. And you see the bolt here. Let's just clean it up. We don't want the Kaido to be sticking around and putting extra pressure on us for, you know, 3 damage every turn, or potentially even more, right? We could start building it up and being like, all right, ninjas get +1/+1. Oh, just kidding. They're like, wait a minute. Faceless Looting would just make me mill 2. It doesn't actually get me to draw 2. Wait, I'm just kidding. I'm not playing it. All right, does the Bowmaster come in and trade here? No, keeps it back. All right. Whew, going to 10. So maybe that Bowmaster flash in earlier, that 1 extra damage would have made a difference here. We will see, though. Oh, okay. So the question is, do we race? And the answer is yes. Bitter Blossom number 2 comes out, so that means we'll be generating twice as many fairies here and losing twice as much life. So we'll go from 10 to 8 really quickly here. And so there's still a lot of opportunities for, you know, the Hollow One player to sort of burst out of nowhere and be able to get us. So
There's stuff in there that you're like keeping an eye on. Okay.
So the idea of trying to kill the Phoenix to then pop the Nihil Spellbomb seems to be really tempting here. Like, there's this element of like, okay, is there a way that we can throw 2 fairies in the way of the Phoenix and then be okay? Or do we wait? Like, I don't know. 2 cards in hand versus 1. Stun counter is now removed, so now the Detective Phoenix on the following turn will be able to untap. Street Wraith. You just hard cast it? Do we get 1 more mana? Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that waiting here. Let's see. We cast Faithless Looting. No, because then that, again, it's just basically just, we would not be able to keep the Street Wraith. But that's okay. 1, 2. Ooh, Monument, though. Yeah, that'll do. Pitch these 2. Cast Monument without a counter spell to stop it. That's going to be really nice. So this is one way that you can be able to just be like, all right, I don't have to worry about attacking. Let's just worry about sitting here and just drawing cards and discarding cards to just get you for 3 damage every turn. Ooh, okay. Nihil Spellbomb will pop here. We'll make some more fairies. 2 on the right cannot attack, 2 on the left can attack, or vice versa, depending on how you want to look at it. Another land doesn't really necessarily help, but... Ooh, Riddler here, hard casting. Now that's going to be helpful to kind of break this stalemate, because now the fairies can kind of start flying in and putting a clock, and with Riddler here, maybe it's enough to kind of break this stalemate siege of flyers staring at each other. 2 flying coming across. All right, 8 to 11. Is the advantage meter moving to our fairy side here? I don't know. This is. I love being able to see the Bitter Blossoms, like see play and stuff like that. I mean, at one point, like Bitter Blossom was like a super cool card, right? That you like was, I don't know. At one point, it was banned in Modern, and then they released it. I mean, this is, you know, showing my age and how long I've been playing Modern, but this is, you know, 2014. All right, 12 years ago, Bitter Blossom was freed from the ban list and allowed to be in Modern. Now, there is no, like, ways to generate a bunch of card advantage necessarily off of them. Like, we do not have a Skull Clamp legal in Modern and things like that. Even though I think that might be fine. You know, it would definitely allow for other strategies to exist, but I guess some of the card advantage you could do might snowball a little bit. I don't know. It's Bitter Blossom's fine though. Like if you're skull camping your tokens off Bitter Blossom, sure, that's cool. You may do that. I'm fine with this. But now we see cycling of the Mako here to get our monument to allow us to trigger, deal 3 damage, and then basically we're gonna put our opponent to 3, and that gives us such a close window of being able to find an opportunity to do something. But oh, Thoughtseize. What do we got? Death Shadow here, a counter spell, and looks like we're gonna can't do anything about the land. We don't care about that. That's fine. I mean, the Death Shadow, we have blockers, but I mean, if it hits once, we die. Counterspell basically is like stops us, but if we find a cycler, we're fine. I don't know. This is a... So how big is Death Shadow? Death Shadow's an 8/8 here.
You've done a lot of damage for me, and I've done a lot of damage to myself with double Bitter Blossom.
Yeah, the double Bitter Blossoms, though, dropping to 3, which essentially would be 2 if we're counting that Bowmaster damage. All right, we're going to get rid of the Death Shadow here. Saying, yeah, that's fine. You're at 3, essentially. I just have to cycle 1 card. I've got plenty of stuff to be able to block you. I should be fine here. We'll lose 2 life, go to 3. All right, you see there's the 4 on the left are able to attack, 2 on the right cannot.
Hey, if I discard a card, I can blow you up.
Yeah, okay. What is that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. Puts the opponent to 1. Oh my gosh. And that's assuming no blocks. We're going to assume probably the Riddler gets blocked here by the Phoenix. Take 4, go to 5. Oh, I don't know. I think this is coming down. Like, I really don't think that we're going to be getting out of this. All right, here we go. 8 damage total. Block the big scary one with the Texas Phoenix. Take 4, go to 5. Okay, what is the top deck? Is it a Cycler? Is it a Burning Inquiry? Is it a Goblin Lore? Is it a Faithless Looting? Is it... I mean, there are so many... A Bolt, okay. 3 damage. Bolt? No, but the counterspell that was kept. Oh my gosh, if we took that over the Death Shadow. Oh, no. I mean, do you always take counterspell then? Right? I mean, it gives you more live draw options here.
There's that counter spell. Anything else?
All right. Looks like the flying army will take over. Go to 1. Make more fairies. Send them all across. The fairies take over there. Game 3 for all the marbles here. Who's going to win? Oh, very close. Very close. Yeah, I guess there's so many chances. I mean, hindsight's 2020, right? We sit there and we can look back and go, okay, we're worried about a Death Shadow. We can block one. Death Shadow resolves, swings in. We're dead no matter what, right? There'll be too much pressure. So that scary element was the reason it looks like Death Shadow was grabbed. But I don't know. The counterspell and how much it does to protect the player is so good. But even then, it's like we know there's Street Wraiths, we know there's Hollow One, we know there's Makos, there are Faithless Looting, there's Burning Inquiry, there's Goblin Lures. That's like 6 or 7 different cycling effects that exist, or discard effects that exist, that allows the opportunity to be able to just win there, right? Or we draw into a Bowmaster and we upkeep Bowmaster, deal 1 damage to our opponent there, or something like that, or try to shoot there. Like, there's a lot of opportunities. But all right, Preordain, we're gonna get this used early, probably looking for a land. Uh-oh, wait a minute. There's the response. Hey, we got the Bowmaster this time. So we're basically that shift from game 2 of not using the Bowmaster when the extra draw effects were going on. Now we're going to see the Bowmaster come in, and so we'll be able to shoot, draw, triggers. So that would be the Orc army out now at 2 power and toughness here. So getting that out early is really nice. Looks like there's the other land that was being searched for at that point for a fairy player. But getting a Bowmaster out early on turn 2 is huge for a Hollow One deck. Like, we've talked about all of these extra draw effects, like the Burning Inquiries and stuff like that, so we'll see how well it works out here. Street Wraith, Thoughtseize, Detective's Phoenix, Nethergoyf. I mean, this is a really solid hand here. I like to just do a Thoughtseize, see what's going on, deploy Nethergoyf. I mean, cycle the Street Wraith, and then Detective's Phoenix, push for damage there. I mean, that would only be 3, 4, 5, 6 damage, but drops our opponent to 10. But then we're like all in, like Hellbent, if we just like dumped our hand to do that. But I like the idea of a Thoughtseize Nethergoyf play here, and then just sort of wait. Or you could just Detective Phoenix here and just swing for 2. But I don't know. I like the Thoughtseize Nethergoyf line better. Nope, looks like we're pushing for damage here. I mean, all of those lines are great, right? They all set us up to try to chip away at our opponent's life total as quickly as possible. So what are we doing? 5 damage this turn? Yeah, the only difference is we miss out on... Oh, wait. Responsin'? Okay. Basic Swamp. Looks like we're going to see a Fatal Push here. Could get rid of the Detective's Phoenix at this point, but it probably going to get rid of the Bowmaster on the off chance that there are follow-up like Burning Inquiries or stuff. Yeah, there's the push there. And take 4, go to 11. So it's still 5 no matter what, but at least the Bowmaster's been answered. All right. 11 to 19 now. Very tough.
Did I take off for the fetch?
You're at 19. Undercity Sewers.
Undercity Sewers. Get a Surveil land going. The debate looks like pitching the swamp. Don't need that land, it looks like. Or looking for different draw effects. Looks like get another clue here.
So is that an attack trigger or is that
It's an attack trigger.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, 2 clues.
Damage.
hollow one. All right, Street Wraith reduces it by 2. So we could hardcast a hollow one for 3 here if we wanted to. And I don't dislike that, but then it's like, again, that's like all in on that plan. I still think the cycle of the Street Wraith makes the most sense here no matter what. Gets us more information, sets us up to maybe make a different line, different decision based off of what we draw. Thoughtseize also sets us up to get information here. So I don't know. I like both of those lines. Again, I still like starting with the Street Wraith here. 2 life. Down to 17. Draw a new card. A second hollow one. Can only deploy 1 this turn if we wanted to. Yeah, I think I just go Nethergoyf here and Thoughtseize. But no, we're going for the hollow one. Get a 5/5 out or a 4/4 out for normally 5 mana, but costs 2 less. So I dig that.
Combat swings at 3.
4 more.
What 4? Oh, 4.
Down to 7. And yeah, with the hollow one there, this maybe just like sets things up in a good position to be able to take over the game. But oh, actually, Brazen Borrower is going to bounce that back to hand here. Oh, Death Shadow, number 1 coming out. All right, pretty big. 6/6. And keeping the Tameo back right now means that we can block the Phoenix.
That's annoying. What?
Oh my gosh, all hollow ones all the time.
Getting all of these one right after the other.
He says, how am I getting all these one right after the other? Well, sometimes the deck lines up like that, but is it time? Do we do the cheeky peeky and look at the hand? Let's take a look. Looks like here. There's the Thoughtseize going to 15. Oh, responding. Spell Stutter Sprite currently have 1 fairy. Does that resolve? Yeah, looks like it does. So no life loss here. Spell Stutter Sprite coming in.
5 seconds?
All right, so we had a little mix up here because turn 0 just happened in the middle of the turn there. There was that little bit of like somebody else was like, oh yeah, all right, 5 seconds. All right, turn 0, active player. And so there was that like discombobulation there of like, oh, wait a minute. Is it my turn? Am I starting turn 0? Like, so it's not a big deal. Card went back on top. No stress. There's no way for the player to draw and set themselves up at the moment here, so they just kind of go back to what they were doing. All right, Nethergoyf. Do we have any flyers? Yes, there is an 0/3 and a 1/1, but we are in turns at the moment. So turn 1 for our fairy player. They've got a 6/6 Death Shadow. Push the Nethergoyf. Clear a path. 6/6 Death Shadow. I like the idea of blocking with the Detective Phoenix here because this sets us up to give something else haste that made a huge difference last time, or at least in game 1, allowed us to win. Let's see. All right, the Blood Moon. Let's do it here. Deploying the Blood Moon. Pop the Clue in response. Looks like no responses to that.
Well, you got his.
No, I felt like I'm saying this is fine. That was, yeah.
All right, so yeah, again, a little miscommunication for a second there, but it was like, yep, that is fine. And then our Hollow player was like, oh, so I'm taking my turn again? No, not yet. Not yet. But this is like the match right now. We're 40 4 minutes in, and that doesn't include sideboarding time and things like that. So that's letting you guys know, like oh, rounds are normally 50 minutes. Yes, but also sideboarding and things like that. So, we are in turns. This is turn 3 here. Now he'll spell bomb. We've got 7 damage coming across. We'll take that.
I'm gonna pop this clue.
Pop the clue and draw a card.
I'm gonna get rid of your graveyard.
Get rid of the graveyard, so no more access to the Detective Phoenix. So that helps set this up. Tamio's flipped. We get a plus here.
Have less attack.
Any creature that attack gets 1 less attack. All right, turn 4. Can we set ourselves up here? Here's a mountain. Guess you play a hollow one here. So we'll cycle. Very smart not tapping that swamp just in case we get access to something like, a Fatal Push or a Bowmaster or something like that we could use. Faithless Looting's really nice here because we could just set ourselves up. Okay, Faithless Looting, draw 2, discard 2. We could deploy 2 hollow ones here. Yeah, another Goy if we don't care about. Yeah, get rid of these 2. This will be our 3rd card discarded, meaning the hollow one is for the price of for free. Boom. Oh my gosh. Now there's 3 blockers on the ground here.
Was that a comment I heard from you?
Anything else?
Bring the 2. I like it. Go for Tamio. Oh, actually just going for face. Okay. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, are you playing to win or are you playing not to lose? Right? We're in this element here. So is there a way that our fairy player can win here on the final turn? Death Shadow's 7 power. Essentially 8 damage on the board. Oh, basic island. So blue, black. I mean, if we had Saruman's Insight here, that is one card that the list runs that could make the Death Shadow unblockable. But that doesn't help us with the life here. So let's see.
Oh wait, I think the game's over.
At the end of this turn.
All right, the debate here. What do we got? 3 mana.
I'm gonna pay 2 life for this member.
Pay 2 life. So we tap too much here, but we're paying 2 life. Going to 4. Kill this. Now, if we had another swamp here, but we milled it at the beginning. Were you all remembering? We milled that at the beginning there off of our surveil land. If we had another swamp or not taken the hit off of the Bowmaster or something like that, we would have been at a extra life total because we could have flashed back the Dismember from the graveyard and killed the other hollow one and swung in, because now the Death Shadow is a 10/10, so that immediately just gets blocked. But if there was that other swamp, or if there was 2 extra life here, or even 1 extra life, would have made all the difference. So really good for a Hollow One player, just that little bit of chip damage. Like if they were just playing it safe and playing not to lose there and being like, I'll just not swing in with the Bowmaster or something like that, or like it makes it much harder for them. Yeah, it's like, what if you did a preordain? Would that have set you up for something? And sadly no. Yeah. Wow, what a game there. So close at the end. Came down 1-1. Now, when I played this fairy list, this was my draw for the night, and then the rest of the matches I was able to win. So I went 3-0-1 for the night, which felt pretty good. We'll take those victories. We're going to see a little bit of sideboard options for the players here. What do they bring in? But yeah, Blood Moon, Oh, saving the day. Definitely the way to kind of protect yourself there. So hope you guys enjoyed that one. A nice like chill one here for this Monday, this snowy day for you, all of you watching. But that is going to do it for us here today. Of course, check back every Monday and Thursday for more gameplay, as well as posts that we're posting up and short form content. But thanks so much for tuning in and watching, y'all. I'll see you all next game.